Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I got the H160 back out. We're going to put it through its paces today. We're over in Grand Case, and we're going to just put it through the paces today. It's an awesome helicopter. We're going to get rid of the people. We're going to kick them out. We're just going to single pilot it. The more I fly this thing, the more I love it. This thing just flies like a dream, and I'm getting back comfortable with the avionics again and everything. So let's just get on with it. We've got live current weather going on. I'll go through startup non-checklist startup. Yeah, just go ahead and pop it here. There we go. Absolutely wonderful helicopter. So startup procedure, non-checklist. Check all the controls. So, a couple of my previous videos, I was playing around with sensitivity settings, and I got to doing some research and everything, and reading everything I could find on HPG, stating, through their documentation and everything. So I've got the sensitivities all set back to default, and then I went in and just took care of everything on the SAS stability. So basically it's a default sensitivity, and got the SAS stability settings to what they recommend for a stick with a long travel, which in my case is the Puma Pro Flight Trainer. So anyway, and I've been flying around, check fluid. It's really nice. So startup procedure. We're going to bring batteries on. At that point, we'll kick the generators on as well, and the emergency generator. We're going to come down here, and we're going to bring on our position lights, and we're going to go anti-collision. We'll go red. We'll wait for this to go through the startup check, power up test here. Meanwhile, we can come over to our controls page, and we are centered. Okay. Power up test is okay, so we can go ahead and bring the helicopter on. We'll start number 2 engine first. We'll go to idle. We'll move back to this page here. Monitor startup. Meanwhile, we'll kick everybody off here. Crew and payload, we're going to go full tanks. Everybody's gone. Bye-bye. So check if you're watching. This is how you can move the people in and out. And now we're empty. We can put our co-pilot in. Take them away. We can close the door by clicking over here, or we can do it right here. Alright, and we click the number right there, and it takes us back to our autopilot page. We'll open that up. Let's bring on the other engine. We'll go to idle. We'll bring on some interior lights. We'll go night mode. Turn the level up. N1's rising. Parking brakes are set. Just keep the helicopter stable from flopping around. So we're going to bring on RA1 and 2, FMS 1 and 2. You can come down here, we can bring this dude on here, and we're going to go to our transponder. We'll squawk 7,000 and we'll go ahead and just bring that on. Clear the message. Okay, now we'll bring on our autopilot backup and autopilot 1 and 2. A trim is already on. And that should just about do it. We'll go to flight. And it locks in. Reset our altimeter. Just hit the B key and it changes. 3006. We are ready for flight, so we'll taxi. So I'm going to release the parking brake. A little bit of up collective and steer with our feet. Just nice and easy with the collective, you don't need much. Our hand on the cyclic to keep things from rolling away. Pretty good wind. Everything I do on the controls is just real light touches. The feet, you got to push on the pedals pretty good to get the turn. You don't want to do it too hard. You only got a single nose wheel up there. It's got 2 tires, but you know it's like a tricycle. You can dump it. We'll pull up to the whole short line and we'll set up for auto takeoff. Well, this first one I'll do a manual takeoff and then I'll come back, fly circuit, land, and we'll do an auto takeoff. So basically we don't want to go any higher than 1,000 feet. We'll do a left-hand circuit. So I bumped up my shadow maps. I'm going to see what effect to performance it has and made some changes to the config file. FS 2020 has got a knockout website, all kinds of awesome tweaks. Alright, line up on the center line, and they tell you, on an airplane you can basically put that line between your legs. That's good enough. Alright. So we can roll if we want to. We're just going to do a little light lift. Pull her on up. Nose up, down. Steering with the feet. Try to keep that center line. We'll see what that wind's doing to us. And pull power. So we're off and flying, so we'll go gear up. Right pedal. And the wind's affecting us, so we'll just ease her on around. for this morning. I set the time for 6 a.m. over here. There's 400 feet. That's above sea level. Should be about a 50-foot difference or so from actual ground level. So there's, look at the speed tag, VY. I believe that's the max climb rate speed. So we're just going to keep pulling collective and pushing nose down. Look at my vertical speed. I'm still climbing, and I'm going to push that nose down to get it level. Alright, and then I'm going to gain speed. So now, with the nose level, I can back the collective down and slow down, trading speed for altitude. And pretty much just go hands-free. Just a little bit of movement on the vertical speed, and you just correct. So we can hold that speed right there. We're at about 5.5 on our collective. We'll roll left. Practice trying to just maintain that vertical speed around 0 in the turns. So it takes practice. Rule of thumb, plus or minus 100 feet on your assigned altitude. So then we're going to square up the turn. Could look back left, and we can see our airport back in that valley. Glance down, instruments, see where we're at, and back out. We're doing 112 knots. Pretty much hands-free. Just touching to correct for wind. Bring it back left. Now in these kind of turns at speed, you can add pedal if you want to, or you don't have to. I'll come in, I'll sit down on the runway number, and then we'll do an auto lift. I stabilize the aircraft for a turn, so I got to restabilize it for level flight, because it always changes. Anytime you change one, you got to correct something else. So the AFCS system on this is just awesome. I've got it set at negative 75 on cyclic, collective, and anti-torque. Alright, so below 120 we can drop gear. I heard that number, so I'm going with it. So now I got to slow down. So I'm going to drop collective. I'm below my 120, keeping my nose level. Reach over and drop my gear. I'm going to try to slow it down and descend. Now watch my vertical speed. And try to keep it around 500 or higher. I can slow down by pulling my nose, but then I got to drop collective a little bit or I'll start climbing. There's the runway. We'll square up like an airplane. Roll into the runway. Get ourselves a nice, decent approach. Turning final. Aiming for the numbers. Alright, so I'm at 110 knots. That's 105 knots. So now I need to start thinking about getting slowed down. So I'm going to pull the nose up and slowly push the collective down together. Watch my airspeed dropping. I'm going to come in about 60 knots. 500 feet rate of descent. So I'm sinking and slowing. I need to slow down more. I nose up more. Down on the collective, nose up. Down, nose up. Now we're sinking. Aiming for the number. Now I got to be ready to pull power. Once I come through transitional lift, I'm going to need a lot of power to keep this aircraft airborne. Pull up for the brake. And pull power to maintain the hover. Just ease into it. Get stable. There's my number. Just slowly, I'm adding power, adding power, adding power, adding power. There, stable. Okay? And then I can adjust from the hover. And we'll tweak it in, try to shoot for perfection. Okay, gears down, brakes are off. Nice and easy on the toe brakes. Ease the collective on down, all the way down. Nice and slow and easy. Okay, we're down. Now I'm going to set the parking brake. Okay, I'm keeping the helicopter stable. For an auto hover or auto takeoff into forward flight, we're going to go NR high. We'll come over here and we're going to click takeoff and we're going to go vertical. The helipad will be kind of a slight backup. We're going to select, since we click that button, we look up here TDP 130 feet, so we'll go with that. Then we're going to select that. Boom, that goes away. So then we come over here to hover mode with the H. Once we lift off the ground, we're going to go into auto hover. We're going to select our autopilot mode height, and that's basically radar altimeter. So it'll be 0 on the ground, not 50 feet like we kind of are above sea level. And we're going to go 130 foot high. So here we go. Standing by to activate auto hover on the lift. The parking brakes are going to hold us. And we just lift. And right into auto hover. Autopilot's cleared. There's auto hover. Okay, and get the aircraft stable. And I'm going to swap the height mode. There it is. Alright. Then we're going to hit the go round button. No vertical takeoffs, doing it all by itself. I'm hands free. It's going to take us up to 130. That's our decision point. At this point, if we lose an engine, it'll drop us right back where we started. It's really freaking cool. So over here, if you see that little white equal sign, that's where your actual collective is. So I've got to match that with the helicopter. That way if I come out of autopilot, it's matched up. So there we go. So we're going to hit go round. And there we go, go round. So 15-second fly off. So what we can do now is bump our speed up. Once it completes the 15-second fly off, it goes into auto flight. There it goes, right there. So now we're in vertical speed. We'll come up to 1,000 feet and we'll level off. Bump her up to about 110. There's our 1,000. Okay, we'll go into altitude hold mode. There it is. And that's all done from the buttons on the controls. Alright, so now we're hands free. We're going to go down here and select where it says HSI, and that's our HSI, heading situation indicator. Our NR high light has gone off. We can release the parking brakes for landing and we can bring the gear up. Now I fly with the hat switch. That is the beep trim. So as I push left, you see it says heading. So watch this. There it's lighting up. So now I'm moving the heading bug, the little green deal on the compass, and we're turning. Down to our 1,000 feet. There's the runway back there. So now when we come in, we'll aim for the numbers, and I will go into auto hover right there, right before I touch down. So this is practice, practice, practice. I like to take off, keep manual takeoffs, practice those, and then come in, do manual landings, and then come in and do, or take off and do an auto takeoff, and then come back and do an automated landing. All right, we're clear, so we're going to turn back left. Our green heading bug is moving. Turn it between 30 and 270. Should look up and we're coming around. That's how nice this helicopter is. The H145 does the exact same thing, except it does not have the auto takeoff. So now we're going to come in for descent. So we're going to drop our altitude down to 500 feet. See the bug coming down. Once it clears the screen, you look up and there it is. Alt A. So the helicopter is automatically flying there. And then we come over here and we're going to pull the indicated airspeed back to about 75. 70, 75. So we're below our 120, so we'll drop our gear. Parking brakes are off. Helicopter is descending 500 feet per minute. Slowing down. We're going to be right there at the VY speed. Okay, so we got to do a go around. So right up here at the top on that's called the scoreboard, we have alt for altitude hold, heading for heading hold, and indicated airspeed for the speed hold. We're watching all these instruments right here. Every one of them means something important to us. Down here is our directional. This we will bring in later when we start flying courses on the GPS. Alright, I'll turn back. And this is base leg. Next turn's final. That's a standard left-hand pattern. 1,000 feet AGL, even for like regular aircraft. So we can do a shortcut into the runway. So I can help if the automation isn't acting as I want, I can just touch the cyclic and bring the helicopter where I want it, and it will match back up and take over. Alright, so we're at 500 feet, we're at VY. We're going to release the autopilot system. One button press, it's gone. Now I'm flying manually, preparing for an auto hover. So we got gear down, brakes off. Same thing as before. Aim for the numbers. Slow down. So it's collective down to sync, and then nose up to slow down. Keep that sync rate controlled. We're doing a zip line ride down to the numbers. Right pedal. Keep that nose going the way I want it to go. Here's 60 knots. I'm a little high, so I'm going to drop collective, slow her down. And drop that nozzle again. A little high, and drop collective. Speed's good. We're through transitional lift. About 45 knots or so. So now we're more in hover flight. And bring her on in. I'm keeping that 12 right there in the same spot. Slight, easy, light corrections. Fly a little bit to the right, and come in, and then we're going to catch auto hover, so I'm going to stabilize. I'll pull power, and we've captured auto hover. Okay. Let it get stable. Then from here I can tell it what I want to do with the buttons or the cyclic. So now we're gonna beep control it. So I'm getting a little screwy, so I can control it with my buttons. Roll it left. Bring it to a stop. Can sit here all day. Now, two ways to do this. I can give collective control, but if I release the altitude hold, I better have this collective matched up. See, I can move the collective up and down. It's not doing anything. It's being held by the autopilot. So I line that equal sign up right there, and then if I come off altitude hold, I'm perfectly matched. So what I'm going to do is release altitude hold, keep it in the hover mode. Boom, see? Now I can use the collective to drop myself on down. And I will try to come up closer and land on the numbers, but I need to be able to see them. So I'm just going to ease it down. And come a little forward. Ease her down. This is how you can learn to manipulate the collector properly right at touchdown. Basically, that's the only control that you really need. I'll just walk it up with beep trim. I start to climb, I just ease it down. Staying out of vortex ring state. I'm at 5.5 on my percentage of power. So I've got reserve. Power in the bank. So we try to be precise as best we can. And get the center line between my legs, and I'll try to get over the number. Once again, I'm doing this all with beep trim. Forward just a few feet, and the wind is affecting us. You see the wind sock up there, it's about 10 o'clock. With that direction right there. Alright, we're going to call this good, let it stabilize, and let her settle. You hear ground effect. We're done. All right. So this thing is absolutely flyable. Wonderful aircraft. The more I fly it, I just love it to death. All right, that's it for this video. Catch y'all next time. Okay, bye bye. Came back over here to St. Bart's. nice landing and everything. I landed. I went a little bit long in front of the taxiway, but I got spun. I went ahead and got the helicopter turned around. So now we're going to taxi in. I'll go ahead and do a shutdown. So we're just going to go easy, using the pedals to steer, standing by on toe brakes. Now this is slightly uphill, so we'll have to add a little more power than normal. It'll roll to a stop a little quicker. We'll go to the other side of the TBM and we'll stop. Beautiful airplane right there. And we'll bring our simulated customers right up to the front door. So I'm still getting used to taxiing this thing smoothly. It's not, it's touchy, it's pretty sensitive, so just being real cautious with it. She likes to pop wheelies. Okay, so we're stopped, we're going to get leveled out. We'll come off that collective. There we go. Set parking brake. Alright, at this point we just come up here and we go to idle. We'll go ahead and turn FMS 1, 2 off, RA1, I think that's a radio altimeter there. We're going to bring our emergency gen off. Okay. I think there's a certain amount of time you got to let these things run in idle, but we're not going to. I have to read the manual, so then we just select off and off. Engines will spool down. We'll click that off. We can turn our autopilots off. We'll turn the A trim off as well. We'll turn our interior lights off. The lights stay on until the rotor stops. So you get below a certain RPM, then you pull the rotor brake. Alright, once the rotor stops, you can cut that off, then the lights can come off. We are safe to approach. And we come up here and we turn generators off. Battery 1 and 2 off. Now this is what I don't like because it resets your position. There it goes. See? And then it'll pop back a little ways. Okay, so that's kind of acceptable, but I hate that. Alright, so at this point we can come back and we can open our doors. I believe the equipment, yeah, we can put our storage covers on in our wind. Should have tie downs. Yep. Okay, so we'll jump out the door and take a look real quick. And I'll go ahead and open up the other doors as well. Find my drone controller. So we'll go back to crew and payload. Yep. And we'll open up all the doors. And back hatches. We're getting this ready to be just as nice as the 145. So we jump out the aircraft. We're in drone mode. There we go. Alright. So we got our tie downs on. Engine covers. Doors all open. Pitot covers on. Straighten out the nose wheel. We are parked. So what I try to do when I'm doing a serious flight is I come up and approach the aircraft. I don't always, go around. I'll take a look at the outside and stuff, and I don't pre-flight the exterior or anything, but I'll come out and admire the artwork and all that, and how nice it is. Then I'll jump in. I don't do checklists. I learn the procedures and I take off and go. Fly whatever kind of flight I'm flying, and then I do a shutdown, and then I'll jump out and kind of look around. So there's the big rock you were aiming at, hovering. So anyway, thought I'd throw the shutdown in, make it a complete flight. So all right, catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.